Buckle up, folks, because today we are diving headfirst into some serious pageant drama.
Oh, yeah, this is a good one.
You know, the one with Miss Grand Myanmar 2024, Thae Nyein?
Yeah, what a whirlwind.
She went from fan favorite to, I don't even know how to describe it.
Total meltdown.
Yeah, basically we're talking about the Miss Grand International Finals and how she went from the top to, well, the bottom pretty fast.
From grace to disgrace, some might say.
Let's set the scene. Okay, so Miss Grand International stage, bright lights, roaring crowd,
Mm-hmm.
and Thae Nyein, she's right there in the thick of it, a finalist.
I mean, she was a front runner the whole time, a crowd favorite.
Absolutely. And we get to the big moment, the one everyone's been waiting for, and
Oh,
boom, Thae Nyein is named second runner-up, which is a huge accomplishment.
Feud.
But her reaction, it was not your typical, I'm so grateful and happy pageant queen response.
Yeah, not exactly the picture of grace and poise we're used to.
Not even close. So picture this instead of the, the winning smile. She bursts into tears on stage.
Mascara running down her face, the whole works.
The whole works. And then her national director, he has to rush her off stage.
Damage control.
Total damage control.
Yeah.
And eventually, she actually ends up giving back her crown and sash.
Talk about a plot twist.
I know, right? It went from fairy tale to, well, a total nightmare.
It really makes you think about the pressure these contestants are under.
Oh, absolutely. And then, of course, the internet just explodes with all of this.
Oh, yeah, the memes, the hot takes, the think pieces, you name it.
It was like watching a train wreck in slow motion. You just can't look away.
And then Thae Nyein, she goes live and starts claiming she deserved to win and that she should have gotten the other awards too.
Yeah, like best national costume and whatnot.
Like she was robbed.
Exactly. And to make matters worse, her national director also jumps on a live stream and starts ranting about how they only got second runner-up.
Like they couldn't believe they didn't get the top prize.
It was almost like they expected to win.
Yeah, and like that was the only acceptable outcome.
It definitely gave some insight into their mindset.
And then, as if things couldn't get any weirder, intimate videos of the national director start circulating online.
Oh, yeah. That was another level of crazy.
Talk about adding fuel to the fire.
It was a whole mess. But we can't forget about the serious consequences of all of this.
Oh, yeah, this wasn't just a little oopsie.
This Grand International, they took action right away.
They dethroned Thae Nyein, revoked Myanmar's license, and now there's talk of a permanent ban from future competition.
And that's huge.
Unprecedented in the pageant world, this is.
It really shows how seriously they took this whole situation.
This was a big statement.
Definitely. And it wasn't just a blow to Thae Nyein, but to the entire Miss Grand Myanmar organization.
Yeah, the reputation, their funding, everything.
Exactly. So the big question is, what led to this meltdown? What was going through her head?
Well, she's only 18, right?
Yeah, super young.
And the pressure of these international pageants, it's insane.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
Imagine being that age and having your entire country's hopes on your shoulders.
And all those eyes on you judging your every move.
It's got to be a lot to handle.
And, from what I've read, it seems like her national director and her team might have accidentally added to this pressure.
How so?
Well, they were constantly telling her she was going to win.
Oh, wow. So, like, setting her up for disappointment?
Right, building her up to believe that winning was the only option.
Which makes the fall even harder.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And one article even talked about this Lulu behavior, which I thought was interesting.
Oh, behavior.
Yeah, it's like when fans get so invested in a contestant that their judgment gets totally clouded.
Oh, so they create this idealized version in their head.
Right, and they lose touch with reality.
Which can really mess with the contestant's perspective.
Yeah, especially someone so young.
It's like they're living in this bubble of praise and then bam, reality hits.
And it hits hard.
So basically you're saying it was this combination of her age, the pressure, and maybe even this Lulu behavior that led to her breakdown.
That seems to be the case.
Wow. So now what happens to Myanmar's pageant scene?
Yeah, good question. This whole thing has really tarnished their reputation.
For sure, it's a big deal for them.
It goes beyond just one person's actions.
Absolutely. This is about national pride, about representing their country on a global stage.
Exactly. And a lot of people in Myanmar, they're really disappointed.
Yeah, they don't condone her behavior at all.
They were rooting for her, and now it's like this dark cloud hanging over everything.
It makes you wonder, will this affect their chances in future pageants?
Right. Will other organizations be hesitant to work with them?
Will they be under a microscope now?
So many questions, and we'll definitely explore those further as we go deeper into this whole situation.
It's like peeling back the layers of this glamorous world and seeing the mess underneath.
Exactly. So stay tuned, because we're about to uncover even more about the Miss Grand Myanmar controversy and the world of beauty pageants.
Can't wait to see what else we find.
Me neither. It's going to be good.
You know what's interesting about this whole thing is The kind of pageant Miss Grand International actually is...
Oh, really?
Oh.
I didn't know there were different types.
Oh, yeah, there are. And this one's classified as an entertainment pageant.
Entertainment pageant, what's that mean?
Well, it's different from your typical beauty pageant. You know, the ones focused on grace and poise.
Okay.
This one is all about, well, entertainment.
So like more of a show.
Exactly. Think big productions, lots of personality stage presence, even a bit of theatricality.
So it's not just about looking pretty. You have to be a performer.
It's about captivating the audience, putting on a real show.
Wow. So that adds a whole other layer of pressure.
Oh, yeah, big time, especially for someone so young.
I mean, 18 and expected to be not only beautiful, but also like witty and charming and entertaining.
Constantly on.
That's a lot to handle.
It's almost like a mini version of the entertainment industry itself.
With all the drama and demand.
Exactly. And it makes you wonder, did that contribute to Thae Nine's meltdown?
Yeah. Was she just overwhelmed by all of it?
And was there this disconnect between what she was expected to do and what she could actually handle?
That's a good point. And if we zoom out a bit, this whole thing has some serious implications for Myanmar's pageant scene.
Absolutely. Losing their license and possibly facing a ban. It's not just about reputation.
It's about money, too.
Exactly. They'll miss out on international exposure sponsorships, even revenue from hosting events.
It's a huge setback for them.
A real blow to their program.
And I wonder how other national organizations are reacting to all of this.
Right. Are they taking notes?
Yeah, like are they rethinking their own approaches and expectations?
I think this is a wake-up call for the whole industry.
Yeah, it shows what can happen when you push contestants too hard.
When winning becomes the only thing that matters.
It's a cautionary tale for sure.
And it really makes you think about those behind-the-scenes dynamics.
The influence of those national directors.
The immense pressure these young women are under.
And the human cost of it all.
Yeah. At the end of the day, these are real people with real feelings.
Speaking of the human cost, there was this one detail in the source that really stood out to me.
What was that?
It was during Thae Nyein's live video where she seemed to think she was the only one who put in any effort.
Oh, yeah. She completely disregarded the other contestants.
Right. It was all about me, me, me.
Like she was competing in a vacuum.
Exactly. And it kind of shows this sense of entitlement.
A lack of awareness of how hard everyone else was working, too.
And maybe that comes from that Lulu behavior we talked about.
Yeah, when you're constantly being told you're going to win, it's easy to lose perspective.
And then reality hits you like a ton of bricks.
Which brings us back to the importance of mental health in these competitions.
It's not just about looks and stage presence.
It's about being mentally and emotionally prepared for the pressure.
For the scrutiny, for the possibility of not winning.
We need to start prioritizing the well-being of these contestants.
Maybe there should be more support systems in place.
Yeah, like mentoring programs, counseling sessions, even workshops on how to deal with disappointment.
It's about giving them the tools to navigate not just pageants, but life.
Totally agree. And this whole incident really highlights the role social media plays in these situations.
It's a double-edged sword for sure.
It can be great for connecting with people, but it can also be a breeding ground for negativity.
And in this case, it definitely amplified the controversy.
From those initial live videos to the resurfacing of the national directors, well, you know.
Yeah, they all happen in the public eye for everyone to see.
And it shows how once something's online, you can't control the narrative.
And the consequences can be devastating.
Just ask Thae Nyein and Miss Grand Myanmar.
But this goes beyond just one person or one organization.
Right. This is about the role of beauty pageants in society today.
Are they still relevant? Are they empowering or exploitative?
Are they truly representative of the diversity of beauty in the world?
It's forcing us to confront some uncomfortable truths.
About the pressures we put on young women, the unrealistic beauty standards, the focus on winning above all else.
It's a conversation that needs to happen.
Absolutely. And this Miss Grand Myanmar incident has provided a valuable opportunity for reflection.
For growth, for change.
It's a chance to examine our own biases.
To challenge those harmful stereotypes.
To redefine what it really means to be beautiful and successful.
To move beyond the superficial and embrace a more inclusive definition of beauty.
And that's where the real value lies.
This whole thing, it's really got people talking.
Oh, yeah. It's sparked a huge conversation.
From what happened to Thae Nyein personally to like bigger issues about beauty standards and social media and all that.
It's like this one incident has become this mirror reflecting all these bigger societal problems.
Exactly. And as we wrap up this deep dive, I'm wondering what you think about the future. Like, where do we go from here?
Well, for Thae Nyein, this is a crossroads in her life, you know?
She's so young.
18 years old. She's got a lot of life ahead of her. And This whole experience, as tough as it's been, it could be a turning point for her.
A chance to grow and learn from it all.
To reevaluate what's important to her, what success really means, beyond pageants and all that.
To find her own way.
Exactly. And for the Miss Grand Myanmar organization, they've got a lot of work to do if they want to recover from this.
Oh, yeah. They've taken a major hit.
Their reputation, their finances, everything, and they've lost their license, could even be banned from future competitions.
It's a tough lesson that actions have consequences.
And those consequences can ripple outward.
It's a chance for them to really look at how they do things.
Like the training, how they prepare their contestants, what values they're promoting.
Are they all about winning, or is there more to it?
Do they value sportsmanship, humility, personal growth?
Maybe this will push them to change their approach.
To create a more supportive environment for their contestants.
One that focuses on more than just external beauty.
Yeah, one that builds inner strength, resilience, life skills.
And for the pageant world in general, I think this is a wake-up call.
To remember that these competitions are about more than just looks.
That they can be platforms for empowerment, for social change.
For celebrating the diversity and strength of women.
But to get there, we have to address the problems in the industry.
The unrealistic beauty standards. The pressure to conform, the obsession with winning.
This whole thing has started a conversation about accountability.
Transparency and creating a more inclusive and supportive environment for everyone.
And that conversation needs to continue.
It needs to lead to real change.
So as we wrap up, what are the key takeaways for our listeners?
Well, on a personal level, I think it's a reminder that we all mess up sometimes.
We're human.
But it's how we learn from those mistakes that matters. It's about taking responsibility, growing, becoming better versions of ourselves.
Defining success on our own terms, not letting outside pressure define us.
And on a bigger level, it's about challenging the way things are, questioning norms, speaking up for a more just and equitable world.
Using our voices to push for positive change.
To hold institutions accountable.
And to remember that even glamorous events like pageants are part of the complexities of our time.
And maybe most importantly, to remember that behind every headline, every viral video, every controversy, there are real people with real feelings.
To approach these situations with empathy and understanding.
To be willing to have real conversations.
Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the Miss Grand Myanmar controversy. It's been a wild ride.
It has.
We've uncovered a lot, and we hope this has sparked your own curiosity and got you thinking critically about the world around us.
And we'll see you next time for another deep dive into current events.